You know somebody who's struggling to get pregnant? Today, more and more women are waiting to have children, whether it's because they're pursuing a career or maybe they just haven't met the right guy. Due to this trend, fertility issues are a real concern for millions of women. Let's see Tiffany's story.
I was in a long-term relationship with a guy for at least 9 years. I wanted children with him. We tried, and it just never worked. My sisters, my brothers, just like everyone around me had children. It just always made me feel empty. I used to think that I was being punished. I also thought that stressing myself was another reason why I couldn't conceive. He ended up conceiving a child with someone else. I definitely do regret being with him for 8 years. I found out I had fibroids probably like 4 years ago. I basically just want to know from the doctors, once I had them removed, why I haven't conceived and why I can't conceive. I'm just lost.
And Tiffany is here with us along with reproductive and fertility expert, Dr. Millie Behera. Thank you so much for sharing your story with us, because you are not alone. As we age, our fertility does go down. And this is kind of remarkable, these percentages, when you look at them. At age 30, it goes down by 20% a month. You have to remember, this is a month. At 35, 15% a month. And at 40, you have a 5% chance of getting pregnant in a month. Okay? So even though that sounds small, people still get pregnant, okay? And what we do is we sort of systematically look at what could be causing the problem for fertility. When I have a woman come in who's 40 and over, usually, I say, let's go, find out right away. Okay, because you don't have a lot of time because of those statistics.
These numbers, they just sound scary, and that's why it's different. I mean, I think generally we think if you try for a year and give it a good try and it hasn't happened, it's time to seek help, particularly in women under 35. But as you were saying, if you're over 35, you may want to seek help sooner or ask the question sooner. It never hurts to go in and talk to somebody and at least find out what your options are, find out what your body's saying, and then figure out where you might need a little bit of help or just an option to spice it up.
And you talked about fibroids, so getting an ultrasound, seeing how big those are, where they are. So we look at the uterus as a factor, we look at the ovaries and the tubes as a factor, and your hormones. And so that's kind of what we look at to try and assess your fertility rate. One thing that, definitely women should know about, and you can explain more about that, is egg freezing and in vitro and the success of that, because those are things that women can use as well.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say egg freezing has been a dramatic advance for us in the last several years. It's now become something that's an option for women that desire to just freeze their eggs just as an elective for an elective reason. It's not experimental anymore. We've gotten better at the technique, and so it's a lot more successful. So for women who haven't quite met Mr. Right yet, or are delaying their fertility
That's what it seems like for me.
or even for career reasons, or because of training or school or their jobs, they have something to fall back on. Absolutely. So they have this option.
Is there an ideal age to start thinking about that? If maybe it's your career, like, you're saying you haven't met Mr. Right, where you need to really start thinking about, okay, I should consider freezing my eggs?
Generally, when you're talking about options for freezing eggs or egg quality, it tends to go down with age. And so the earlier you think about this, potentially the better.
And, I just want you to know, Tiffany, that I'm a firm believer that life moves us in the way that we're supposed to go, and that you're going to get everything you need and want. I truly, truly believe that, okay? And so we can help you get that. We know how important kids are to you. So if you wanted to, we are going to set you up with a fertility expert here in Los Angeles.
Wow.
Yes. And Dr. John Jane, Santa Monica Fertility, has offered to do a free exam to help you get a better picture of your fertility and possible treatment options. So when Mr. Right comes, you'll be ready. Okay?
And we're talking about fertility and all the options out there, but there certainly are things. There are things that you can do to also keep up your own fertility or to pay attention to it. So the general things to keep your health, healthy weight, watch your diet. We're finding a lot of good evidence now that the Mediterranean diet can help with your fertility.
Wow.
And watch your stress levels too if you can. It's hard to keep your stress level down in some ways or avoid your job or things like that, but everyone deals with stress differently. So it may be acupuncture or meditation or yoga. And so, try and be in tune with that. And these are things to do to help.
Thank you so much.